Hey everybody, it's Dean from the Rhode Island Computer Museum, and it is a cold but nice Monday morning, and I came into the lab here a little bit before work just to see what was going on. I didn't make it by on the weekend, and I found an interesting item I wanted to show you. I don't know where it came from, but we're going to check it out. All right, so here it is. So this is an HP-150, and at first I thought this was just a small old display, and it looked like it had a few more things going on than what I thought. So I did a quick search on my phone to see what it was all about, and discovered it's quite a bit for what it looks like it is. So again, this is an HP Model 150. These came out in October of 1983. And apparently, from what I was looking up, this was HP's first, I guess, MS-DOS compatible. From what I was reading, which I thought they did something before that, but that's at least what I had read. And going by these asset tags on here, it looks like this was from HP. So I don't know who brought this in. Nobody told me this came in. So I don't know if somebody dropped it off, if they were tinkering around with it. I'm not sure. There's nothing else with it, as far as I can tell, unless it is in a box somewhere. But so this device is actually an all-in-one computer or a data terminal. These actually double function. They could be either one. So as you can see, there's no jacks or ports on the front of it. You have a screen. And before we go around the back, the screen is actually super interesting. So even though this is 1983 vintage, this is a touchscreen. And it's not resistive touch. It's not capacitive touch. It's actually accomplished. I'm going to see if I can get the light in there so you guys can see it. There's a row of little tiny holes along the side right there. They're also along the bottom and the top. So you can kind of see them there. The angle kind of stinks. I apologize. But there's basically a series of little tiny holes going all around the screen. And apparently when this thing is powered up, it would emit an infrared beam going across, like a grid pattern across in front of the screen. So when detected anything that was not translucent touching the screen, it would register the touch. It could track where you are, and you could hit buttons on here. And it's kind of tough to tell in the light, but you can actually see some burn-in this screen has of what looks like maybe the buttons along the bottom. It's a little hard to see. If I shine it, you can kind of see the dark shadows of the burned-in, what was probably static on this display for a long time. So anyways, let's flip this around, and I'll show you the back here. So it's pretty busy back here. So what we're looking at is typical power switch, AC power, 115 volt in, and then 115 volt out to, connect to something else. If you had a device to power up, you have these two data ports right here. I'm assuming this is probably had to do with connecting it to, we have this one here, disconnect the cable at the modem end first. So yeah, those two there. You had this HP-1B port. I believe this has to do with when it's in terminal mode. From what I can tell, I did a real quick search on this, so if I'm a little off, I apologize. It looks like it's a couple of expansion ports down the bottom. Those are these both open just by these little thumb screws. And then behind this is a keyboard port. It looks like it's the type that would be like a phone jack, like an RJ15. And then it had this nice little plastic cover, I guess, to stop it from being pulled out maybe. And, over here we have our focus, brightness controls. I don't see a color control, so I'm assuming this is just monochrome. Looks like there's a fan back here. Other stuff here. This says battery above it, so I'm guessing these are maybe the equivalent of the CMOS batteries. You can see those right there. These apparently are prone to, like most batteries, over time leak. And these look like they're in good shape. They're just starting to leak, so I'm probably going to permanently remove these. I would pull them out now, but I don't want to lose them in case somebody needs to see what size they are. So we're going to leave them in just for now, and we'll take that out once this thing gets cleaned up a little bit more. And as far as that goes, that's about what's going on back here. Other interesting part is looking up top, and you can kind of see it. I'm going to see if I can just bring the camera up. It'll be a lot easier. It looks like we have a printer built in. I'm not sure exactly what, by the look of it, Maybe it's a thermal printer. I'm not sure. I didn't go into that much research to see what type of printing mechanism this is. It looks thermal to me. I don't see any real way to open it quickly unless... Oh, never mind. I lied. We can take that cover off. Let's see if we can pop up here and see what we're looking at. Sorry for the handheld. So it looks like... Okay, no, not thermal at all. So there's a belt right here. So going by the belt... And looks like a little data connector. So this probably comes up. I'm not going to stop taking things apart right now, but anybody want to see is an HP-150 and it looks like this little cover just goes right back on top. So some kind of, I guess, mechanical printing, akin to a typewriter or a daisy wheel, something like that. The back did look kind of thermal to me, so I do apologize. It is not that, from what I can tell anyway. So again, this is an HP-150, a touchscreen computer from 1983, and hopefully once I can ask somebody from the weekend what was going on with this, I can see if it works. I guess a lot of these don't work. There's a common problem with dust getting into these bottom infrared ports. The touchscreen becomes inactive, it gives errors. Power supplies kind of conk out on these, and the display doesn't work at all. I guess it also have a long boot time. But again, the other thing before I end off was the fact that this was a double duty type unit. It either had its own keyboard and mouse, which you could use on it and use it as a computer, has its own storage devices, or you could use it as a simple terminal to connect to another machine. So quite an interesting machine from HP. So again, to end off, HP 150 from 1983. Pretty cool.